What do you do when the one who swore to love you leaves without looking back? Do you shatter? Do you crawl, beg, plead? Nope. You become the storm. The storm doesn't chase. The storm doesn't cry. The storm erases. When she left, she didn't just break your heart. She broke your illusion. She revealed a truth most men spend their whole lives running from. No one is coming to save you. Not her. Not anyone. And especially not the version of you that thought love meant weakness, sacrifice, or begging to be seen. This is the moment where everything changes. Not because you got closure, not because she came back, but because you finally stopped needing her to. The man you were died the moment she walked out. But from the ashes, something colder rises, something unshakable. Stoicism is your armor. Dark psychology is your weapon. Emotional detachment is your strategy. This isn't about revenge. This is about resurrection. Every second you spend mourning her is a second you delay becoming him, the version of yourself that doesn't chase, doesn't need, and doesn't break. The storm isn't emotional. It doesn't care. It moves forward, unstoppable, while everything behind it is reduced to silence. That's who you're becoming now. So stop asking why she left. Stop hoping she'll regret it. You're not here to fix the past. You're here to bury it and build something stronger in its place. Welcome to Stoic Blessing. This is your rebirth. This is where the old you dies. This is where you become the storm. If you're done crying to her memory, if you're ready to become untouchable, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I don't chase, I elevate. Now, let's begin. Number 1. She walked away, but so did your illusions. She didn't just leave you, she shattered the mask you were too afraid to rip off yourself, the one that said she was the one that whispered lies like forever, loyalty, and unbreakable bond. But here's what no one tells you. When she walked away, it wasn't the love that ended. It was the illusion. You were never in love with her. You were in love with the version of her that lived inside your mind. You projected hope, fantasy, and desire onto someone who was never built to hold it. And that's why it hurts so much. Not because she left, but because your illusion got destroyed in broad daylight. You thought you were building a future with her. But what you were really doing was feeding an addiction, a silent, invisible dependency. She didn't break you. She revealed you. She exposed the part of you that was still willing to ignore red flags, overlook the distance, justify the coldness, all for a fleeting hit of her approval. But now that she's gone, you're waking up, and that sting you feel, it's clarity. It's the cold, sharp truth you've been avoiding. Most men stay stuck here. They loop the past. They think if they had just done one thing differently, she'd still be here. But that's weak thinking. That's a trap. You don't get stronger clinging to the version of her that never truly existed. You evolve when you stop asking why she left and start asking why you ignored the signs she would. You built your world around someone who wasn't solid, and when she walked, the whole structure collapsed. That collapse is your blessing. Now you get to rebuild, stronger, wiser, sharper, not around someone else, but around you. Don't reach out. Don't wait for her to notice your silence. Don't hope she checks your story. She's not watching. She's not supposed to, because this isn't her story anymore. It's yours. Number 2, silence is power, the weapon of detachment. You don't text her. You don't call her. You don't check up, follow up, or send a just thinking about you message at 2 a.m. Nope, you vanish, because silence isn't weakness, it's dominance, it's control. And right now, control is everything, not over her, over yourself. When she walked away, she expected you to chase. She expected tears, long messages, maybe even anger. She expected drama, desperation. But when you say nothing, when you disappear completely, when there's no emotional reaction for her to feed off of, that's when you stop being predictable. That's when you become dangerous. Silence does what words can't. It creates mystery. It breeds doubt. It makes her question her decision in ways your voice never could. She starts asking, why isn't he fighting for me? Why hasn't he reached out? Did I even matter to him? That storm you were? Now she feels it, because your absence hits harder than any argument ever could. And more importantly, that silence, it's for you. Every time you don't reach out, you get stronger. Every day you don't check her page, you heal. You're building restraint like a weapon. You're training emotional detachment like a muscle, because a man who can stay calm in chaos is a man no one can control. And the moment she feels that energy shift, that moment when she realizes you don't need her anymore, that's when the power dynamic flips. But here's the truth. You don't go silent to get her back. You go silent because she lost access. She lost the privilege of your energy. And now, you protect your peace like your life depends on it, because it does. No more explanations, no more confessions. Just stillness, just silence. That's how Stoics move. That's how kings rise. Number 3. Emotional control is the highest form of power. She wants a reaction, anger, sadness, jealousy, anything. Because if she can trigger your emotions, she still owns a piece of you. That's the game. That's how people test if they still matter, by seeing if they can shake you. But here's the new rule. You don't react. You calculate. You observe. You hold the line. Emotional control isn't about being numb. It's about being lethal. You feel the storm inside you, but you don't let it show. Not in your words, not in your face, not in your decisions. You don't give her or anyone else the satisfaction of knowing you're broken, because you're not. You're rebuilding, quietly, relentlessly. And that starts with discipline over your emotional state. You want to scream? Go lift. You want to cry? Hit the gym. Read, meditate, write. Transform that chaos into control. You can't stop the thoughts from coming, but you decide how long they stay. Stoicism is clarity. It's learning to feel without becoming enslaved by those feelings. She left? Fine. But she doesn't get to live rent-free in your head. Here's the truth. The man who controls his emotions wins, not just in relationships, in life. He doesn't lash out. He doesn't beg. He doesn't spiral. He studies the battlefield, adapts, and strikes when it's time, or not at all. And that kind of man, that man commands respect without ever raising his voice. You're not here to prove your worth. You're here to become someone so in control, so locked in, that your presence alone shifts the atmosphere. You are no longer a slave to heartbreak. You are the architect of your evolution. Number 4. Build in the shadows, become unrecognizable, disappear, not in sadness, not in defeat, but in silence and strategy. While she's out there flaunting her freedom, convincing herself she made the right call, you're behind the scenes turning pain into fuel. You're stacking wins. You're sharpening the edges. You're rebuilding, not to be seen, but to become something she can't even recognize. This is the season where most men either break or evolve. You evolve. You hit the gym, not for a post, for a purpose. You wake up early, you read, you train, you execute. No announcements, no declarations, just disciplined action. Because revenge isn't loud. It's a quiet transformation that turns heads without saying a word. Let her think you're broken. Let her think you're stuck. Let her believe the story she told herself to sleep better at night. Meanwhile, you're becoming the man she prayed for, but won't be able to reach again. You don't glow up to get her back. You level up so high, she can't even approach you the same way. And when she finally scrolls through your life again, when she sees the posture, the progress, the presence, that's when it hits her. Not regret, not guilt, but realization. She lost a man who didn't just survive, he evolved. And she'll never meet that version of you again. Stoicism isn't about hiding your pain. It's about using it as a blueprint. It's about building in the shadows, so when you re-emerge, the world has no choice but to respect what you've become. You're not hiding, you're upgrading. Number 5. The scar is your strength, not your shame. Look at the pain. Don't run from it. Don't numb it. Don't pretend you're fine. That scar on your heart, that's not a weakness. That's not something to hide. That's your badge. That's the mark of a man who felt deeply, lost hard, and chose to rise anyway. Most men waste this moment. They cover it with distractions, rebounds, fake smiles. But you wear that scar like armor, because what broke you yesterday is building you today. That heartbreak carved you open, but now you get to decide what grows inside that space. Let it be fire. Let it be purpose. Let it be the hunger that makes you unstoppable. You see, pain is a forge. It's the place where soft men melt and strong men are made. You've been burned. Good. That means you know what it costs to love without boundaries. You'll never make that mistake again. Now you move with clarity, with standards, with cold precision. That's the difference between the man you were and the man you're becoming. Every scar tells a story, but only a few men turn that story into a weapon. Not bitterness, not revenge, but silent, sharp growth that speaks louder than any apology she could ever give. You don't need closure. You need conviction. She doesn't need to understand what she lost. You need to understand what you've gained. Vision, discipline, and a version of you that only pain could unlock. So let the scar show. Not to get sympathy, but to remind yourself and the world that you survived something that tried to break you. And it failed. Number 6. She didn't betray you. She revealed herself. Stop calling it betrayal. That gives it too much power. What she did wasn't some master plot. It was a revelation. She didn't betray you. She exposed herself. She showed you exactly who she is when things get real, when temptation knocks, when your love becomes inconvenient. That's not a villain. That's a mirror. You thought she was loyal. You thought she was all in. But people can't fake forever. Eventually the mask slips. The act ends. And when it did, you were left staring at someone you never really knew. Good. That's clarity. That's freedom. Because now you don't have to keep investing in potential. You see the reality. And reality never lies. Painful? Absolutely. But necessary. The version of her you loved never existed. You fell for the image, the highlight reel, the words, not the actions. And now that she's gone, you see what you couldn't when you were blind with emotion. She wasn't built to stay. And that's not a tragedy, it's a filter. Life just removed someone who couldn't meet your standard. Don't chase closure. Don't try to decode her choices. Accept what you saw and act accordingly. The Stoic doesn't get bitter, he gets clear. He moves forward, not because it doesn't hurt, but because he refuses to be ruled by someone else's confusion. Let her go, not as a loss, but as a reveal. Now you know, now you see, now you can rebuild your circle, your boundaries, your standards, so only those who are real ever get close again. Number 7. Attraction through indifference. You want her back? Then stop wanting her back. That's the paradox. The more you need, the more you repel. The more you chase, the more she runs. But the moment you let go, not fake it, not pretend, but truly stop caring, that's when the energy shifts. That's when the game flips. Because real attraction doesn't come from presence. It comes from absence that doesn't beg to be filled. You think indifference is cold. Number indifference is control. It's power. It's not, I don't feel anything. It's, I refuse to let those feelings run me. That's what makes you magnetic. That's what makes her pause in the middle of her new attention, new distractions, and wonder, why doesn't he care? Because now she's the one trying to decode you. She's the one noticing the silence, the absence of emotion, the lack of validation, that tension. That's attraction being reborn, not through longing, but through mystery. And if she comes back, it won't be to the same man. It'll be to someone colder, smarter, unreachable. And here's the kicker. By the time she notices, you won't even want her anymore. You'll look at her and feel nothing. Not hate, not love, just clarity. That's when you win, not when she returns. But when her return doesn't move you at all, this is the power of detachment. It's not just how you heal, it's how you dominate. The less you need, the more you attract. The less you react, the more you rise. Let her feel the void. Let her wonder. Because that silence you're sitting in, that's the sound of you becoming undeniable. Number 8. You are the prize. Start acting like it. Somewhere along the line you forgot who you were. You made her the prize. You put her on a pedestal so high, you forgot she was human. You chased, you compromised, you gave too much, thinking love meant proving yourself. But real power starts the moment you stop seeking validation and remember, you are the prize. Not because of ego, because of value, because of what you bring, your discipline, your ambition, your loyalty, your vision. These are rare, these are expensive, and she had access for free. You didn't lose her. She lost a man willing to give everything without needing to be begged. And now, access is cut off permanently. She thought you'd wait, that you'd stay soft, that you'd be there if her options failed. Nope. You're not a backup plan. You're not the what if. You're the standard. And the new you doesn't chase what walks away. The new you selects. You don't audition for love. You interview, you evaluate. Because not everyone deserves your time, your energy, your presence. You want her to regret it. Then stop trying to be wanted. Start being undeniable. Build so far above who you were, she can't even find a way back into your world. Not because you blocked her, because she's no longer qualified to be in it. When you treat yourself like the prize, others follow your lead. They rise to your level, or they get left behind. And if she ever tries to come back, let her feel the weight of your standards, because this time you choose. Number 9. Burn the bridge, then build an empire. Stop keeping the door open. Stop checking if she watched your story. Stop wondering if she'll reach out one day. That kind of waiting, that's emotional poverty, and the only way to rise is to cut the cord, for good. No more second chances, no more what if. You don't leave room for the past to return. You burn the bridge so thoroughly, not even memory can cross it. Because here's the truth. As long as she's an option in the back of your mind, you're not fully focused. You're not fully committed to your growth. You're still holding space for someone who walked away. And the longer you keep that door cracked, the longer you delay your evolution. Let her go. Not gently, completely. That doesn't mean bitterness. That means boundaries. You don't hate her. You just outgrew the version of yourself that needed her. And now you build, relentlessly, ruthlessly. You take all the energy you used to pour into her, and you pour it into your empire, your fitness, your money, your mission, your legacy. Let her watch from the sidelines. Let her see what she walked away from. But never pause to look back, because the man you're becoming doesn't entertain ghosts. He doesn't negotiate with memories. He builds a future so massive, the past becomes irrelevant. That's how you win. Not with revenge, with results. So burn it all, the texts, the photos, the hope, the maybe one day. And in that fire, forge the foundation of your new empire, one built on discipline, not dependency. Number 10. Become the storm, the Stoic Alpha Reborn. You've felt the pain. You've been torn down. You've stared at the ceiling, wondering what went wrong, begging for answers that never came. Good. That was the death of your old self. Now you become the storm. Not a man who reacts, a force that moves, a presence that shifts the room without saying a word. This isn't about her anymore. This is about you, the rebirth, the awakening, the cold, unwavering discipline that rises from silence. You don't chase peace. You become the reason for your own. You don't seek validation. You own your value. You don't bend for anyone, not because you're heartless, but because you finally understand. Your power was never meant to be given away freely. A Stoic doesn't flinch. He observes, he calculates, he endures. But when it's time to act, he strikes with precision. And now, you are that man. Emotionally untouchable, physically unrecognizable, mentally unshakable. You don't run from pain. You absorb it. You mold it. And when you're done, you walk through fire like it's wind. She left? Let her. That was the catalyst, the ignition switch. The storm was always inside you. You just needed a reason to unleash it. And now that it's here, there's no going back. You don't move with hope. You move with certainty. You don't cling. You command. You are no longer the man she left. You are the man she'll never recover from. This is stoic strength. This is dark clarity. This is the final transformation. You made it to the end. That means something. Most men don't. Most stay stuck, scrolling, simping, searching for closure that never comes. But not you. You're not looking for comfort. You're looking for command. You didn't come here to feel better. You came here to be better. You've faced the pain, turned silence into strength, burned the past, and built a new foundation. You didn't just survive heartbreak. You hunted growth through it. That's what separates the broken from the reborn, the boys from the alphas, the emotional from the untouchable. She walked away. Good, because now you walk through life without fear, unattached, unbothered, unstoppable. You don't wait for apologies. You don't crave validation. You've reclaimed your throne. And if she ever looks back, let her. She'll only see the storm she created and the man it forged. This is Stoic Blessing. This is where men come to transform. And if you're ready to keep rising, I've got more for you. So stay locked in, because the storm you've become, it's just getting started. If this hit you, if this lit a fire inside you, smash that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, I've risen from the wreckage. Until next time, stand tall, stay cold, and move like thunder.